Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. And this is the Corporate Streetz podcast. This is the podcast for people that used to bump crucial conflict while they got ready for Sunday school. My name is Jerren.
And this is TJ.
And man, I used to listen to Crucial Conflict all the time. I was actually listening to it the other day, and I remember like I literally used to actually listen to it while getting ready for church.
So what, you was smoking on some hey in the middle of the barn. You was doing that before church, huh? That's what you was on?
Right. So I didn't actually even like that song. I liked it at first. I guess that's what got me into him. But after hearing the whole album, like Showdown and The Final Tick, Desperado, those songs was hard.
Oh, I forgot about Desperado.
Yeah.
That's how it went, right?
Yeah. And so I remember getting it. I can't remember if it was like my birthday or Christmas, but I remember getting The Final Tick.
Yep.
Dope album. That's still dope to me. I got that for whatever. And at the same time, I got this game, X-Men. I think it was Children of the Atom for like Sega Saturn or something. It was like a fighting game.
Sega Saturn, dog.
Yeah, not even Dreamcast. I had Dreamcast too, but I had a Sega Saturn.
Ew, your people was in the money.
Hey, I loved Sega, man. So
yeah, Sega was that. Did you have the what was that? The 32X?
I didn't get the 32X. I knew one person, Freddie, had the 32. My guy Freddie. He had the 32X. He had a Sega CD, and then you put those shits together.
Sega CD.
You put that shit together, and like you got all this shit connected to your Genesis. It is like on life support. It's got like three damn plugs.
Right.
You know, and they got these massive adapters on them, so you couldn't even use like one strip to plug all this shit in. And then you had to have like two power strips. And then they came out with like the 32X CD, like games that just worked with the 32X. It was just a mess. And all those lines and wires connected to the game, I mean, it was very representative of what was going on with Sega. It was on life support.
Right. There was a last ditch effort to make something work out.
Yeah, because they had these other systems coming out. It's just they just wanted to get more of our money. But yeah, so I remember getting this Sega Saturn.
Right.
And I had the X-Men game, and I remember listening to Showdown while I first started playing it. So every time I played the game, I was always listening to Showdown.
Okay.
Or a Crucial Conflict, basically. So, like that song.
So that was like your theme music, your get amp music.
Yeah.
While you was playing the game.
Yeah, that song just reminded me. That song. Anytime I listen to it now, it reminds me of that game and that moment when I was in middle school or whatever, playing that game. And do you have, you know what I mean, like the songs that kind of like the soundtrack of your life? Like, do you have any songs like that?
You know what? It's more about albums for me. I didn't really I don't remember them as songs. Although if I spent a lot of time, I'd probably think of songs. But for me, the first thing that comes to mind is Ice Cube's album, Lethal Injection.
Whoa, that's crazy. I was thinking about that too.
Yo, Lethal Injection, I think I was like 11 years old. And I listened to that over and over and over again. It reminds me of being in California because I used to fly out here every summer. I used to come out here with my dad and stay with my aunts and my cousins and stuff and my dad and all that stuff. And You Know How We Do It was a big hit off of there.
You Know How We Do It. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Ghetto Bird was on that joint.
Yep.
Lethal Injection. And then
yeah, I mean, like for me, that was a big album for me too. Like I remember being like you said, 11 or 12 or whatever. It was like right before middle school, I feel like. I know I was in like elementary school, I think. Yeah. And I remember like that shit impacted me so much. Like I really thought like a race war was gonna happen. And I remember like getting prepared, thinking like some shit was gonna go down in any second.
You was thinking about that back then? I didn't think shit about no race war, dog.
This higher learning came out at the same time, And
High Learning was a dope movie.
and I remember thinking that, whoa, he's talking all this stuff, and like Ice Cube can't tell a lie. I mean,
Right.
so like he had an
Everything
afro.
he says is the truth.
Yeah.
Everything he says is the truth.
So I grew my afro too.
Oh, that's when you grew your fro.
Yeah, so that album, like you said, for me reminds me of a whole time period.
And then so the next one that immediately came to mind after that was DJ Quick's album Safe and Sound. As you see, I got this whole West Coast thing going on because
Yeah.
I was really influenced by West Coast music, being on the West Coast for the summertime, and my uncle and my dad was listening to West Coast music. But Safe and Sound, I think that came out like '95. That was the first album I ever bought, and
Yeah, see,
that was the first CD I bought.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so I'm just gonna let you have that one.
Oh,
Go ahead, keep
Safe
talking.
and Sound
You
was
can
a
continue.
hard
I don't
ass,
know.
yo.
I don't know
It
what
was
that
like
is.
all redded out because DJ Quick. Well, I don't know the detail. I don't know DJ Quick, so I don't know if he was a blood or what. But
a pirate?
he looked.
Okay.
He definitely looked affiliated, right? And so I'm 13 years old. My favorite color is red. I'm really feeling it. Oh, by the way, the album that came out before Safe and Sound, Way Too Funky, he had that song Just Like Compton, and he shouted out St. Louis.
Okay, yeah, I
dog.
know that song. That's the only DJ Quick song I'm familiar with.
Oh, cause he said St. Louis.
Because he shout out St. Louis.
Right.
But
So-
wait a minute. You said something right there. I'm sorry to cut you off, but before I forget, you just
Okay,
said something
Kanye, go
about.
ahead. No, go
I'll
ahead.
let you
Kanye,
finish.
got it.
But you said you had when you was 13. I knew you when you were 13. And you said your
Right.
favorite color was red, and
Right.
I happen to recall you having a red jogging suit, like a full.
Yo, that's what it's gonna be.
Hey, in middle school, I remember you wearing like a full solid color jogging suits. So yeah, I remember that. I didn't know that was your favorite color though.
Yeah, dog, that was my favorite color, and I almost got my ass whooped over that color too.
Right.
And I'll tell that story later. Being down on I caught the Metro Link to St. Charles Rock Road. There are a lot of Crips over there.
Okay.
And yeah, so I almost got my ass whooped. That's another story though. But yeah, DJ Quick, Safe and Sound had me super amped, just like Compton had me super amped. I love what DJ Quick was about. His music was dope because he's a DJ, obviously.
Right.
So so that would be the next thing I would think about.
Like for me, another one for me was Project Pat, Getty Green. So
Definitely,
So, like,
definitely.
the intro song, I think it's called like North North,
Yeah.
or something like that. But it reminds me of this exact day. Like I was at this stereo installation place, and I happened to see my brother there. My brother came and he was talking and he was telling me about how dope it's gonna be when you get your subs. And I'm sitting in the waiting room, and I feel like I had to be sitting there for like 2 hours or something. And then all of a sudden, I just hear this music, and the bass that starts shaking the whole building. I'm like, oh my God. Because I knew I had that CD in the car, and I heard that it was the song. And I was like, oh my God, is that my car hitting like that? And man, I
Right.
was so amped up when I heard that, man. And every time I hear that song, it reminds me of sitting in that little office, being 16, 17 or whatever.
Right.
And-
Because that came out in '99.
Yeah. And getting my 12s. Again, thank you. Shout out to Best Buy and they discount.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and yeah, man, sitting in there hearing that bass drop. Oh my God, I was so happy, man. I felt like I accomplished something. I was working at Burger King.
Yo,
Man.
that's a rite of passage right there. dog.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, your first joint was Burger King too, huh?
Yeah, I worked at Burger King. man.
Yeah, remember I worked at Burger King at the airport.
Yeah.
In the East Terminal. That was
Right.
I helped create that Burger King, by the way. I was what, 15 and a half,
What, you, like,
working
built the shit?
18-hour days. Yeah, because it didn't exist yet. And they had me working like 18-hour days. I wasn't gonna turn it down. I wanted that $5.81.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying? Yo, they was slaving me, dog. I was doing 18-hour days for $5.81, yo. That is robbery. But anyway, one of my memories would be Getty Green as well. But I remember riding in your Honda. You had an Accord, right?
Yeah.
Was it an Accord?
89
You had the Honda Accord.
89 Honda Accord LXI. It had power
Dog.
windows. It had a sunroof. Let's see. That's about it. It didn't have no air conditioning.
Oh, it didn't? I don't remember that.
But I did have some 12s.
But yeah, dog, I just remember beating down the street
Yes, sir.
with your 12s in the trunk and listening to slanging rocks nonstop,
Yeah.
nonstop on your block, slanging rocks nonstop. Dog, the car was hitting so hard. I felt like somebody when I was sitting in that mug, dog. It was super dope.
Even though we slanged no rocks, but
Never slanged a rock in my life. Yeah.
never
yeah.
seen
But
a rock.
Yo, it sounded good though.
But it sounded really good.
It sounded, and the beat that was behind it. Shout out to DJ Paul and the whole team with 360. Whoever made that beat, dog. That was a super dope ass beat. And when you got 12s, that shit was hitting hard.
Hey.
And so I'm gonna keep 3-6 going. So my next one is in 2000. The 66-61 album, 3-6 Mafia, When the Smoke Clears,
Okay.
that dropped right around the time that we got out of high school.
Right.
And the memory that I have of that is just the whole idea of I finished high school, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? I had a job. My dad had got me a car. That's when I got the Maxima, right?
Okay.
And man, dog, I thought I was doing it. I had the 95 Maxima with the I bought some blackout lights for it in the front and in the back. I had a bra for it. It was the SE, so it had like the inverted lights on the joint on the inside.
Oh,
so instead of having like
SC didn't mean supercharged.
no SE as in
SE.
E as in Echo.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sports edition, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. It was a
Sports
sporty little
edition
car.
joint. Yeah. It's like a 4-door sports car. That's what Maxima called themselves, but whatever. But it had the inverted lights in the joint. So instead of having like the green or the red or the yellow on the inside for your tachometer and your speedometer on the dash, mine was whited out. It was super sick, dog. And I just remember having my own money, having a job, and I felt like I can do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And listening to 66-61, dog, all them songs on there. Anytime I hear that song, any of those songs, I remember those days that I felt like, man, this is the best time ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess 3-6, they definitely provided a soundtrack for my life. I remember first hearing them like when I was with my cousins in Mississippi, and I remember like they just were getting like the tapes. And I remember them talking about, man, you heard that new triple. They was when they were 666. You heard that 666 tape. And,
Okay.
And they were always talking about it. I remember hearing them talking about Bone. And I'm like, man, who is these guys talking about Bone? You know, I don't even know who the hell that is. I mean, I know what Bone was. I didn't know who those guys were.
Right.
But and one last one. We can't forget Cash Money. And like, I mean, speaking of beats, like I remember Big Timers. That album was like built just for the purpose of like listening to it super loud with your bass going. And yeah, when I remember going to college and always listening to that song, like, or listening to that album. You know, and yeah, like you said, it was kind of like remembering. It's kind of like remembering just being successful or feeling like really successful because I was in college. I was a freshman with my own car and beats and stuff, you know?
Right. And so for those who don't know the Big Timers, because maybe we got some young listeners out here, that was the duo of Baby and Manny Fresh. By the way, stop playing with my fucking name. Respect respect my fucking name. When you speak my name, respect my name.
Wait. You don't mean respect. You mean respect. With the K.
No, I said respect. Respect my fucking name. Stop playing with my name. Respect my name. So apparently, Baby went kind of ham on The Breakfast Club, and he wasn't happy. I guess maybe one of the people on the show, maybe they don't respect his name. So you're right, they don't respect his name. So he had to go in, and he felt like he had to check those guys. And you know what? I will say that he had a lot of dudes with him, and this man got tats on his face. I wouldn't play with him in the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I would believe what he talking about. If he told me respect his name would be respected.
Well,
From that moment on, dog, I
well,
wouldn't fool with him.
but you know, that actually reminds me. I listen to podcasts myself,
Okay.
and one of the ones that I always love to listen to is the Brilliant Idiots.
Shout
So
out to those guys. They
yeah,
do run a hard podcast. I tell you that.
yeah,
They podcast is pretty dope.
yeah. And actually, they made Andrew Schultz made a joke about you can't buy nothing with street credit out here. You know,
Okay.
you can't buy anything with street credit. And
You
they got
can't buy shit with street credit.
and yeah, and so that got me thinking, like, what if you could? Like,
Okay.
what if a thing existed called street credit scores? What
Okay.
if we had street credit scores? What,
Right.
like, how, like, would we be able, like, what kind of stuff would we be able to buy? You know,
Okay.
and it got me thinking, how about I rate, like, if I had to issue a credit score to some of these celebrities, what would what score would they get?
Now let's talk about this for a minute. Now we're talking about a street credit score. We're not talking about street cred, right? Because street
Nah.
cred is totally different. From my understanding of street cred, that's like a level of acceptance and respect that you get in the streets from either your persona, your knowledge or experience in the streets, or past or current events.
Well, see,
That's where your street cred comes from, right?
right. But street credit score, like for example, you would have probably got like a minus 50 points on your street credit score because just then you said respect with the CT. However, you
Right.
should have said, if you would have said respect with the K,
Okay. Right.
you would have gained 50 points towards your street credit score.
Yo, wait a second, man. What about the guys that speak proper English, man?
They
Man,
constantly losing. Their street credit score is going down.
right. Okay, so to gain street cred, you need to be pretty close to the street life, and there's no such thing as an honorary street cred. I mean, this is based on what people, what you do in certain situations, not based on what people think you would do. So your street credit score, how can I up that? You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
I do speak sort of properly in certain situations, and I don't want to get negative 50 points every time.
Right.
And since that is happening, tell me how I can, counteract that. You know what I'm saying? What can I do? I probably just lost points for using counteract, huh? That might have been.
That was, let's see, counteract. That was 3 syllables. You probably would have lost about 10 points for that. You can't be saying syllables. See, I'm saying syllables, so I'm losing points too.
Syllables.
However, yeah.
That's 3, homie. You lost. So what
So
do I
you
need to do to gain them back? I need to
Alright.
do something I can gain them back. Give me
So-
something right now, bro.
Okay, so let's come up with some rules here. So
Okay.
we have to have a barometer. So let's just go ahead and say I think 850 is the max credit score.
Okay,
in
so
the
that's
in
similar to
regular
the
world. So in
to
street
the
credit,
actual credit score. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So in street credit, we're gonna go with 850. So who would be on top?
So anybody can be scored. I mean, in the real credit scores, there are there are age limits. I mean, in the sense that you can't buy anything with your name until you're 18. But in this credit score, we don't have no age requirement, right? Street credit scores, there's no age requirement, right?
Nah, man. You could put it in your baby's name.
Alright.
Your baby start getting street credit. So yeah, actually, if you had a bill in your name, that's an automatic. As a child under 18,
Yeah.
you automatically are building your street credit score.
Okay.
So for every bill that you had, you get 100 points
Yeah.
towards your street credit score.
Okay.
So you can start building your credit, your street credit, as an infant. As soon as you pop out,
And you know what?
that shit can
on
start.
some real shit. My mom probably don't want to admit this, but I believe she had a phone in my name, and I wasn't 18. She not a cell phone because they wasn't popping back then. But my house line, she actually had it in my name. It was my house line. I guess it fits though. But yeah, I was under 18, so that
So
negative 50.
that's 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get 100 points because you had one bill, and I would say even your mother gets, how many points would she get from that? Like 50, I would say.
Okay. She gets a little credit
Because-
for going
Yeah.
there.
Because that's some hood shit to do, so she has to get some credit for that too.
Okay, and so you said you wanted to make who was at the top? Who was at the top of the street credit?
So the top person, I think every street dude, or especially the rappers or the hip hop world, they all look up to this guy.
Okay.
And he's been very influential. I mean, you hear about it in everybody's songs. There's a rapper who named himself after this guy.
Okay.
And, he's just been very influential to our world.
Okay.
And his name is Tony Montana.
Okay.
Now,
AKA?
you might be thinking Scarface.
Okay.
And so you may be thinking, wait a minute, he's not real. Look, the way street credit works and the way street credit scores work, you don't have. The person doesn't have to be real.
Right.
This is who everybody looks up to. Like next to they picture of Jesus and Martin Luther King.
Yep.
They got Scarface holding his AR-15 or his M16 or whatever he had with the M201 grenade launcher, whatever it's called. They got that picture up next to Jesus and Martin Luther King and JFK.
Right.
So.
And you know what though? And you know what? And so just to show that nobody's perfect. I mean, even Scarface, he was on his way to decline slightly because he did have a bit of a drug problem, dog. He broke one of Biggie's 10 crack commandments, dog.
Whoa. That wasn't Biggie's. See, so that's what I'm talking about. You gave the street credit to the wrong person. Biggie got Never Get High on Supply from Scarface. That came from that movie. The guy, I can't remember his name right now, but the guy Scarface was working for, he is the one that told Scarface never get high on your own supply.
True. I'm just naming. That was a good call on that.
That's Frank.
Frank, yeah, that's homie name. And you're right about that. But what I'm saying is, I was naming his 10 crack commandments. I was naming because there's 10 of them. Scarface didn't talk about all 10 of them, but he broke one of them. Frank did tell him too. So the homie Scarface wasn't paying attention to that, man. So
you know what? Why was that movie called Scarface? I mean, I don't want to get off the street credit too much, but why was that movie called Scarface? They never even referred to him as Scarface. They mentioned the scar once in the beginning,
right?
And then the movie was Scarface. I don't know, but anyway, so I think it's fair to So he had his drug problem,
right?
However, he went out in a blaze of glory.
He did.
He went out. He took out like 20 guys. He got shot up maybe like 30 times himself, but because he was so coked up and full of adrenaline, right, he was just taking those shots, laughing at them, jumping around.
So you know what? In that situation, since he was going out anyway, that kind of empowered him at the moment.
Yeah. The coke helped him knowing he's about to die, and empowered him. And then he got blasted by the double barrel shotgun from the back, kind of like Ricky. And it took like a whole hit squad to take him out. Bro, that's an 850. There's no way around it. Yeah,
I don't think you can go out any better. You know, if we're talking about street credit, I don't think you can do it any better, man. I mean, he did it his way. He pretty much did it his way.
All right, so what do you think some of our celebrities like
who's the lowest of the low though? So
so I guess if we have a top, we got to have a bottom.
Right. You have to there's always a yin and a yang. There's a light and a dark, good and bad, or good and evil, however you want to say it. But anyway, so what I was thinking about was, think about this, dog. And I know we're talking about street credit, but this goes for street cred and street credit. Pookie has to be Pookie, dog.
What, from New Jack City, Pookie?
From New Jack City, Pookie.
We're not talking about Chris Rock. We're talking about Pookie.
No, we're talking about Pookie. No, we're not talking about Chris Rock. We can rate Chris Rock separately. We're talking about Pookie, so the lifestyle of Pookie. That man was a dope head, right? Then he tried to turn into an...
Wait. So dope head, that's minus 200. Go ahead.
Okay. Then he tried...
I'm looking at the street credit score.
The rating system?
The rating system. So that's minus 200 for being a dope head.
Yep. I mean, but his level of addiction was pretty high. I mean, I don't know, man. He might get minus more than 200. But anyway, he was a dope head. Then he tried to turn informant, right? He tried to be a snitch, right?
bro, being a snitch is minus 300.
All right, bang, right? And then he went back to the dope. Dog.
That's minus 200 again. So
Yo,
let's
dog.
say if he was at 850, so minus 400. Now he's at 450. Then minus 3. You can't even get lower than that. So he's
And
just
by the
at the bottom.
and you don't just get an 8. You have to gain an 850. You
have to
can't just
gain
start.
850.
So let's say he's
street credit. With street credit, they start you at 850. They're generous.
they're generous. They start you off with the. All right.
So you can they start you off that way.
Okay. So the unknown guy gets started off with the 850, and then his actions after that will determine where he goes, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So that's cool. So we got it. So you agree? Can we have that? Can we have a is Pookie
Wait,
it?
I think you left something out. And then he went out like a bitch. like he called Ice-T, and he's like, "I'm gonna die." Or no, but they found that. When they found the camera on him.
Oh yeah, dog. He got caught.
He kind of was crying. He got caught being a snitch, bro. That is definitely that's an uncontested the lowest credit score.
Yo, that's the lowest of the low. Okay, so we got Scarface, 850,
It's the top.
and then we got Pookie. He's just in the negative, dog. We stopped counting on him.
Hey, Pookie's fucked up, man. He's like bankruptcy, foreclosure. He's out here bad.
Okay, all right. So let's go. Go ahead. Throw one out. Throw one out. Who you got?
All right, so we were talking about Baby a second ago.
Yep. Oh, we gonna start. We gonna start with Baby.
Well, actually, yeah. So Baby, he has like face tattoos and head tattoos.
So that
gives you street
That's
credit.
a plus. That's a plus.
That's a plus. That's definitely a plus.
You got to go out on a limb. When you get a face tattoo or a head tattoo, you're saying I'm not working the real world. That's what you're saying.
Committed.
Yeah, he committed.
He's about this life.
Right. Okay.
So that's definitely at least 100 points.
100. That's it. Dog, his whole face is covered. His head is covered.
150.
All right.
So he's got the head tattoos.
Yep.
And then he's got a grill,
Got
diamonds and all that.
Yep.
He's balling. He's up there. So he's up there right from the beginning.
Okay.
But then he got caught up in some rumors.
Okay.
About his relationship with his artist.
Okay. Rumors? We got pictures. There's pictures floating around.
Oh, yeah, that's a picture. So just being put into that predicament, not that there's anything wrong if that's the case, you know.
So you're talking about the picture where it appeared on the picture that he was kissing Lil Wayne, right?
Right.
Okay. And the story is, from what I understand,
You know what?
that they feel that their relationship, they actually have a relationship, a father-son type of relationship, and that's why they do that. Although there are two grown men, and most people would consider that gay, right? Which is cool, but they, you know, because if you're gay, that's your own thing. But the difference is they denied being gay. So I think
I never kissed my pops like that. But look, I would say that Birdman is probably the top in that relationship.
Okay.
So actually, I believe that would give him street credit, even though he was involved in this scandal.
Because he was calling the shots of it.
That actually gives him street credit because let's say you locked up.
Okay.
As long as you're not the one receiving,
right?
You still, you know, get street credit.
Okay,
so that actually gives him street credit.
Okay.
And so, I would say, Baby,
that's been generous.
Now Wayne, on the other hand.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Whoa. Go back to Baby for a second. Birdman. I don't know what the fuck he's calling himself now.
Like, hey, whoa. Time out. We're calling he's a grown man. His name is Baby. There's got to be a deduction for that. His name is Baby.
I don't know why his name is Baby. So
there's got to be a deduction for that.
The fact that he had to change his name to Birdman, which is still not I mean,
There's nothing wrong with Birdman.
there's nothing Birdman is cool.
There's nothing wrong with Baby. You just I think there's a conflict for the street credit. You
I don't want to call no man baby.
Right.
So yeah, he loses points.
There's a
just
deduction.
because everybody has to call him.
Everybody has to call him baby. So from his girlfriend to his main chick to his baby mama to his homeboys. Yo, dog.
To his shooters.
Right, to his
So
shooters.
we're gonna go ahead and since he's forcing people to call him baby and respect his name,
Right.
we're gonna that's with a K. So we're gonna deduct 300 for that. So
All right,
he gets
so that's
a
a
550.
deduction. All right.
He gets a 550. He was up there. He was doing good until that happened.
Right.
And until this Breakfast Club thing happened.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad I thought of that, by the way. I'm glad I thought about the baby thing.
Take the credit. Take your credit.
Because it's
Pour it
due.
up.
You know, I'm horning it up a little bit, credit horn. So I got one. Are you ready?
Okay. What do you got?
Heathcliff Huxtable. Otherwise known as Cliff Huxtable, from the Cosby Show. What is it?
So, wait. Do you know his middle name?
Heathcliff Huxtable? No, I don't remember his middle name.
Yeah, me either. Go ahead.
Man, I thought you was about to kick some knowledge.
Hey, I know he got a middle name though.
Oh, okay. All right.
He got one.
Yeah, that means a lot.
Okay.
So he was born in Philly. All right. So you born in Philly,
Okay.
you did that. That's a
That's
hard
points.
life. That's a hard life, dog. So
That's points.
Yeah,
He's starting off good.
he's starting off good. He wrestled, played football, and ran track in high school. Okay, so he wasn't no
he was
punk.
the man.
He wasn't no punk. So he was a
Still
star.
looking good.
He was a star. He went to the Navy. All right.
Military man. Okay.
Yep,
Respect.
military man.
Respect.
Respect his name. And then he went to med school. What was that school? Hillman?
Yeah.
Hillman. He went to Hillman. I think that school was located in VA. It's not a real school, but it's
So that gives him street cred for going to a historically black college that doesn't even exist.
right. Historically
So he's
black.
doing good.
HBC. Right?
Yeah.
All right. And then check this out though. He's an OBGYN. So he gets to
I was gonna leave it at.
Okay. All right. This is what he gets
know
to
what
look
that-
at every day, okay? This is his life.
Okay.
So and then check it out. Not only is this his life, but he's looking at other chicks' boxes at the house.
In his basement. And his
house.
wife and kids and everybody knows.
Dude, he got chicks coming to the house, okay? So if that ain't street credit, I don't know what is. So with the money he got going, by the way, he married a lawyer. Okay, so he wasn't wearing any protection, right? And he had
Took the condom off.
He had a gang of kids, right?
Right.
Street credit is up, right? And then so with the money being that long, you know, he got chicks running in and out of the house. He's looking at their boxes there while his wife is home. He's getting paid for it, right? His wife is a lawyer. They got money to pay for the goons that they needed. You know what I'm saying? They money is long. There's got to be some street cred in that. The money is long.
Definitely. And he did it legal.
He did it legal. Dude, he kept his hands clean.
I think he's a boss.
So where we at with the score? I just named he's got a lot of pluses. I can't think of a Cliff Huxtable negative.
Bruh, I can't either. I mean, and he lived in New York.
And he lived in New York, so he ain't straight too far from Philly. Now he lived in the uppity side. When they showed them screenshots, it was some pretty big fucking houses he was living next to. So I'm pretty sure it was.
If you're a boss, you wouldn't live in your trap house though. You know.
That's true. I'm waiting on the score, bro. I'm waiting on the score. Hit me with the score.
Oh man. And he wore Coogee sweaters too.
Yo, is he topping?
Hold
Is
on. Okay, I think we got a deduction. Street credit. You can't be marrying chicks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can't be marrying chicks. You can't be taking care of your kids.
Okay.
And he took care of like 5 kids, so let's deduct.
Right. And he was taking care of his kids' kids.
and his kids. So he wasn't paying child support, but that would have gave him street credit.
Right.
Well, wait a minute.
So
Let's see. If you don't pay child support, that should give you street credit.
that's what you said. That's what you said.
Yeah.
So we good on that. So he's got a few deductions. So where is he at? Is it
We're gonna put him at what do you think, like a 650 or something?
650. I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
All right.
I think
moving
that's
on.
fair. Hold on, but Bill Cosby, on the other hand.
Okay. All right. So check this out. Man, that's rough, dog. That's rough.
Look, I'm not gonna. I don't want to go too much into it. If he's out here raping chicks, I can't give him street credit for that.
He can't get street credit for raping chicks. Like
So
when you got the street credit up, when your street credit is up, chicks are just dropping the draws because of you. You don't need the assistance of dropping drugs and drinks, right? Allegedly. Right. So right. I don't know if the man did it or not, but that's out there. So for the sake of this rating at the time, yeah, man. It's rough out here for you, Bill.
So he loses because if he does go to jail, he has problems. Because
no. If he does go to jail, he gets some street credit. He gets some street credit for going to jail.
But the jail dudes, they don't like rapists, so.
Yeah, but we're not talking. We're talking about he gets an increase of like 50 points on his credit score for going to jail. Now, I'm not saying what he's got to do in jail, how he's gonna last in jail. We ain't talking about that. But those guys,
the street guys in the jail, ain't gonna respect him.
They ain't gonna respect his name.
So, fuck it, man. Hey, Bill Cosby, he's like got like a 400, man. I mean, he might go to. Well, he ain't even went to jail yet, so we can't even give him no points for that.
Right. I'm saying, yeah. He don't get the points yet. You said if he goes to jail, that's when he'll get a couple points.
For allegedly being a rapist, we can't give you no good street credit, bro. We can't approve your shit. Credit denied.
So, I want to say that we can't take his street credit away for allegedly being a rapist. He needs to be convicted first. So we gotta wait on him. We gotta wait.
For now, your credit
we waiting on him for now.
Still under review, I guess.
Right, it's under review. It's on a decline though. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
Right.
It's not looking good.
All right. So who we got next? Oh, so hold on. My turn. Oh, I just went. Damn. All right, you go.
All right. Did we do Wayne? No, we didn't really talk about Wayne. Wayne, he went to Rikers. So you went to jail. You went to Rikers. I would have to say that's 200 like positive street credit points. Okay. Because he went to he didn't only go to jail, but he also went to like a real jail.
Right.
He wasn't PC though, wasn't he?
I forget.
I think so. So that loses 100 because you can't be in PC and have good street credit.
No, that's tougher, dog. Being in PC. Oh,
it's tougher. If you're not a Gen Pop, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's true. That's true. So hold on. He's been shot in numerous clubs. He's then went raw on a lot of women. He hasn't, and he's not married to any of them. So his street credit is on a rise, dog. And by the way, his selection is pretty mean, dog. He's got a pretty mean selection.
And he has dreads, and he's got face tattoos, and he has gold teeth.
Diamond.
My bad. No, I didn't mean to disrespect his grill.
Don't. Yeah.
But yeah.
So.
But we gotta take away points. Wait a minute. No. Well, what you about? You think it's good?
I'm thinking that he's looking good so far. What you got? What you got going against it?
I have one major problem.
What's that?
So just like because Baby was the top in this situation, he's the bottom. That means he's the bottom with that scandal. So I can't give you street credit, and you the bottom, because in these streets they don't respect the bottom.
Gotcha.
Respect.
You got to be on top. You got to be on top of your game at all times.
And on top of the person that you are allegedly smashing or whatever.
Yo. All right. So what's the score looking like? What you got?
Man, What do we give? What do we give Baby for being in the top?
We gave him 650, I believe. So that's what we said.
I'm gonna put Wayne at like 400.
400? No,
That's not
dog.
fair.
Five
You're right.
five
You're
fifty.
right. Okay.
Come on,
Okay,
man.
550.
Dreads.
The dreads.
His selection. His selection. Christina Milian. Laurel London allegedly.
And
His baby mama.
They don't
he's
like
got a
him,
bunch
right?
of those. No, his baby mama's cool with him.
He loses points for
what it
that.
seems like. Oh yeah, that's cool.
He loses points for that. Your baby mama is not supposed to like you because A, you don't ever see the kids, and B, because you don't pay child support.
Gotcha. And allegedly he's a pretty good father too. So, all right.
Hell no, you can't be a good father out
Right, because Streetz is number one when you got street credit. You got to put Streetz number one.
Okay, I got one.
Whoa, you just went.
Okay, go ahead.
You just went.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, let's see here.
I just got one more. So.
Oh, and man, I got a few more.
Okay.
All right. So can I just do two really, really quick? One is gonna be really quick, and then the other one is my real one. This one right here is okay. Ray J.
Okay.
What's Ray J's street credit score?
Bro, he hit it first. He hit it first,
so,
and he got shouted out on the last Kanye West album for hitting it first.
Right, and he had one wish,
yeah.
But hold on, I got a knock against him.
Okay,
he got the booty goons. He was gonna call the booty goons on Fab on Fab. Right?
I'm okay with that.
Dog,
he's not the booty goon. He has booty goons employed, like working for him. He just got him on speed dial. He's got him in his favorites.
Okay. So that's you turned it around for me. That's true. That's true.
I think if you got goons, bro, you winning. Regardless if they booty goons or donut goons or I don't know what other kind of goons you might have, but I'm not here to judge what kind of goons you got as long as you got them.
You got goons. Okay, cool. So the real one I was gonna do was Remy Ma. The real one I was gonna do was Remy Ma.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now street cred out the gate. She shot a chick for stealing her money, right? Or she did time for it, right?
Yes.
And this chick was her friend. Okay.
Yes.
She did her jail time.
Yep.
Rap beef. She beefed with whoever she wanted. She did songs about Kim. I think she might have did some about Fox. Nobody wants her with her. And she can rap for real. She's like better than half the guys that's out there.
And she went and did her time and didn't snitch.
And she didn't snitch on nobody. Dog, her credit score is pretty high.
I got nothing against her, man.
Dude,
mainly because I don't know a lot about her, but from what I do know, bro, she might be Tony Montana status. I think she might. I was about to say
for the women. For the women, she's the A1 for the women.
For anybody, almost so far on this list.
Yeah, that's true. That's she's killing it right now. Shout out to Remy Ma.
So,
I don't want to see her in the street.
Right.
Unless we talking about her album, I do not want to see her in no real situation like that.
Right. let me rapid fire a few. As actually I do have a few more. And I'll be done with my list. So Ice Cube was in NWA. He had a Jerry curl. He used to wear all black. Hey, he's really and he used to be Doughboy.
Gotcha.
He is pretty much 850 at that point. However, what?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, however, he started doing the kid movies, and he started getting kind of
that takes away from the street cred.
He's got a family. He's got sons. Well, yeah, we're talking about Ice Cube. Yeah,
he's got the same wife that he's had from the beginning. The same
married.
Chick he was rapping about on Today Was a Good Day. He's still with her.
All right, so we're gonna his street. He's kind of in the middle of the road, I would say, because like Doughboy, the Jerry curl, it was all pretty epic. So I'll give him a 650.
And he's taking care of his kids. He's even putting his kids on. Like his son played him and got nationally recognized. It's a pretty big deal.
That's a
He's
little
taking
too
care of his kids, bro.
responsible, but I mean, I'm not gonna count that against him
All right, so Ice Cube was good out here. You said you had
because his son had a Jerry curl in that movie, so I'm not gonna count it against him. Okay, let me go. Future, he be on Xanax and activists and all kinds of stuff. I'll give you credit for that, bro. You know,
right. Is it so that's his thing. I remember one of these episodes we was confused about what his choice is, but we know what it is Xannies. That's what it is.
I was listening to DS2. It's definitely Xannies.
Okay,
Percocets, that kind of thing. So good, right on, Future. You doing good so far. But then, he's got dreads.
Got the dreads.
He's from ATL.
He got the mumble flow, and he's getting paid for it.
We don't know what the fuck he's saying in the songs.
and it don't matter. People love it.
Okay, so he's doing good. But then he got his chick stolen. He don't take care of his kid, allegedly. So that's a plus.
Okay.
But then he got his style stolen.
Ooh, what is he gonna do about that?
So
what is he gonna do about that?
So he's kind of losing. He's on the decline, definitely.
And by the way, the dude who stole the style, I mean, he's hot in these streets now by taking his style, and there was nothing said about it. Maybe he's gonna see him later. I don't know. We'll see what the street credit for now. Okay.
Yeah, for now though, bro.
By the way, this is a dynamic list. I just want all of you to know this. You pull some shit tomorrow. Yeah. And you will get your street credit snatched. Okay.
Yeah. So
you won't be able to buy nothing with that street credit because your credit score is gonna be low.
Or you can fix your credit, Future. All you have to do, go shoot designer or go run up on Russell Wilson, and you'll get your shit back.
A championship football player. That's far fetched, but okay.
Whip his ass. I mean, what? I mean, this dude ain't even won the smash. He ain't getting he ain't getting no ass, so he might be hella strong right now.
That testosterone is rocking.
Russell Wilson, on the other hand, I'm gonna give him. I'm not gonna go through all his shit because he did take his Future's girl. He's taking care of Future's kid, which is kind of savage. You know, taking care of some other man's kid that's out in the public like that. So. You're taking pictures with him. Hey.
So wait, so
shout out to Russell Wilson, bro.
So you lose points for taking care of your own kid, but you gain points for taking care of somebody else's kid?
Yes, I think so. Well, with his Future's kid, a man on a decline with his street credit, I think he definitely he gets points for that. So Russell Wilson, hey, he doing good. Okay. I would give him a 700, bro.
700 right now?
700, yeah.
All right, that's what's up. So
and he won a Super Bowl.
True. Now, while we on Russell's, a name just popped into my head. D'Angelo Russell. What's homie credit score right there? What he got? So he played for the Lakers. Got drafted really high, right?
Right.
He's supposed to lead. He's supposed to be leading the Lakers. We're supposed to believe in him. By the way, I'm a Laker fan. It's a hard season. It's gonna be another couple of hard seasons, but that's cool. But for D'Angelo Russell though. On the decline heavy. He's 19, just got in the league, and he kind of let the cat out of the bag on one of his teammates, dog. That's gotta be minus 250, 300, dog. It was supposed to. Yeah. It was supposed to be a situation that was between him and a teammate, and he goes and puts it all over Snapchat or whatever social media site he put it on, and it got back to homie fiance. So the person he told on was that Nick Young, his street credit was going up. He was talking about banging everything that was walking, and he got a fiance, so his street credit is up. But he's in a doghouse right now, and D'Angelo Russell should be as well because D'Angelo Russell's the reason that came out. He snitched on him a little bit, man. He snitched.
Snitching. I believe snitching is minus 300. So,
but you know what? You can come back. You can come back from snitching because Kobe snitched, and I mean he just retired, and everybody loved him, and he snitched on a teammate, and his snitching was bad. It was pretty bad what Kobe did, man.
But did he win a championship after he snitched?
He did.
All right. So there you have it. And he went, and then he won a court case.
He did win a court case. Ugh.
All right, that's doing good. And he had, yeah. I would say Kobe. That's why Kobe was able to come back.
Now snitching, man. You know what? Since we're talking about snitching, you know, there's some confusion in snitching, and I just want to bring that up. You know, I'm gonna take that back about D'Angelo Russell. I don't think he snitched. He there was a lapse in judgment, but he didn't snitch. To me, snitching is what I believe the street definition of snitching is. If you are out doing things that you're not supposed to do, and you get caught doing those things, and you start naming names about who else was doing it too because you got pinched, you are snitching. Now, if you are not engaging in any negative activity or illegal activity or whatever the activity is, if you're not engaging in it and you see something and you say something, that's not snitching. So in that case, D'Angelo Russell. Hold on.
The window.
So hold on. So D'Angelo Russell, he wasn't engaged in the cheating as far as we know, and the word got out. That was a lapse in judgment, but technically he didn't snitch. Now Kobe, he was out there. Hold on. Now Kobe, he was out there trying to bang on chicks that wasn't his wife. He got caught up, and this man is talking to the police. Okay, and he say, man, I should have just did what the fuck Shaq did. Shit, he pay all his women off. It's like, why you talking about that man name, dog? Why you even bring him up? That is the definition of snitching, dog. You can put Kobe picture next to it now. That's my favorite player ever, Kobe Bryant, but he did snitch, unfortunately, and there's no hiding that. No holds barred, dog. I'm not gonna change it up just because that's my boy, dog.
So Nick Young wasn't in D'Angelo Russell. They were friends, right?
Teammates. I would imagine that they're friends.
I mean, wasn't he like they were just chilling in a room?
Yeah, they was chilling in the room. They was talking.
So I would say they probably friends.
Okay.
At least, you know, they're cool. They're cooler than just the common teammates.
Yep.
So he snitched on this guy, man.
No, man. No, that's
his friend.
That's his friend, and he had a lapse in judgment. He recorded
the shit. He recorded the shit and then put it out there.
He did. That's wrong, but that's not snitching, man. You have to be in it too, and then you get caught. That's snitching.
But
dog,
if Trey couldn't turn around and tell on Doughboy just because he jumped out of the car. He can't go back and be like, "Hey, man, I wasn't a part of it." But hey, Doughboy shot these blood cats the other day who was just eating their French fries. One dude just wanted some extra ketchup.
Right.
And yeah, you can't do that, man. Trey can't do that. And Trey didn't do that. So real quick, Trey, he got points for street credit. As far as the street credit score, he got points for not snitching. All right, go ahead.
So I'm just saying, man. He do have some, man, but he was crying on camera, dog. He was crying on his girl's shoulder. He lost a lot of points for that, dog. He's swinging. He fighting the air. Like, why didn't he fight the guys that was right? You know what I'm saying? Why wasn't he fighting in? Why wasn't he fighting in? Why he all teary-eyed and crying when it's raining outside? You know what I'm saying? Yo, there was nothing more weak than that scene in that whole movie. But anyway, somebody breaks in my house, dog. I'm not out there breaking in houses. I'm not stealing cars. I'm not selling drugs. Somebody breaks in my house. I'm calling the police. I'm not snitching. If I see somebody breaking in somebody's house across the street or next door to me, I'm not in that lifestyle, dog. If I call the police, I'm not snitching, dog. That's not snitching. That is not snitching. That is making sure that I keep my community safe. Now, if I was out there and I'm breaking in people's houses and I get caught up and I say, yo, man, Jerren, he's going to hit somebody up tomorrow at 3:30. And he hit up 6 people in the last 4 days. And I could tell you what he looked like, and I could tell you where he lived, his shoe size. I got all the information. Actually, I can get him on tape saying it. That's snitching, dog. Just because I got pinched, now I'm telling all your business, now I'm snitching. That's the difference, dog. And I think that there's a lot of confusion out there from what snitching is, man. So.
Yeah, but that's kind of like just on the street. So what about snitching? I mean, this is the Corporate Streetz podcast.
Okay.
So what about corporate snitching?
Corporate snitching?
Yeah, I mean, corporate snitching exists.
I still think the rules still apply on corporate snitching too. Like
Well,
if you going around and maybe you not doing everything you supposed to do, and you get caught up, and you start talking about, well, you ain't say nothing to Joseph because
nah, that's fucked up.
you ain't say nothing to Joseph. You know, he doesn't come in on time every day. Joseph, he takes a hour and 20 minutes for lunch break. You don't say nothing to Joseph. How come you trying to pull me?
So for that, I would say you would have to apply street logic in the corporate world. You don't snitch on nobody because you got caught for bullshitting. Right. Like you just got to take that L and no, you can't tell on nobody with no shit like that.
Right. I agree.
But,
I agree.
So
corporate snitching though. You got a situation?
Right. I do. So the way I handle it is just like we were saying, like if something. So let's say I was in training, right, and we have like somebody just kind of showed you how to do some shit.
Okay.
Well, say I mess up something. Now I have a choice. I can say, yo, old boy trained me this way. This is how it's trained. Or I could say, this is how I was trained, and not be like, oh boy did it. And so that's actually happened to me before. I'd be like, man, somebody showed me how to do it this way. And they'd be like, well, who was it? And I'm like, nah, yo, I can't tell you. I ain't no snitch. I don't know who told me. I just know I was told to do this. But I ain't no snitch, you know what I'm saying? And that was it, you know? They respected what I did.
You know why they respected what you did? You want to know why? Because they had the shit on paper anyway. Fool, they know who trained you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. So no, it's not on paper. So the person ain't getting in trouble, you know? But see, I only knew how to handle that because man, I hate to admit this, but I was a former snitch. I snitched on somebody before.
Oh, your street cred just took a dip, dog.
I know, man.
You just admitted, and your street cred took a dip. Well, go ahead.
I'm gonna admit this, and I'm gonna tell this story.
And you need to tell me how you got your points back, because I can't have you walking around with like a 350, dog. But go ahead.
All right. So this was in middle school. I snitched on somebody.
Okay.
So, let's just call. So in middle school, they gave us cards for lunch, right?
Okay.
And what would happen is they would kind of like engrave a number onto your laminated card.
Right.
And so if you had a free lunch, you'll have a 3. If you had a reduced lunch, you'll have a 2. And if you just pay for your shit, you don't have nothing.
Okay.
So let's just call this guy Manny. I don't want to incriminate nobody because I ain't no snitch now. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God. But go ahead.
So my guy Manny, right? We was cool, right? It was like I think it was 8th grade. We was cool in 7th grade, and then 8th grade we was still really cool. And so Manny one day was like, "Hey, you want to get free lunch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to get free lunch." And so he was like, "All right, I'm gonna put a 3 on your card."
Okay.
He didn't have the tool they used. They had like some kind of like a paper hole puncher kind of tool, but it don't actually punch a hole. It just kind of indents the laminated thing.
Gotcha.
So he used like a push pin or something to draw a 3 on.
Got it.
And it was cool. So I was using the card, buying my lunch every day for free.
Gotcha. And how long did this racket work, dog?
Man, it must have lasted like a month or 2.
Okay.
And
you was eating good.
Right. Because not only was I eating good for free, but then my mom was still giving me $2. So every day I would go and get like 6 cookies. You know what I'm saying? I was getting like 6 cookies because I had to spend my money, you know, on lunch.
Right.
And so, anyway, so the lunch lady was cool. You know, she never noticed it. However, one day, like one of those, like, you know, they had those helpers. They're not really teachers. They just these guys that just be at the school and they sub every now and then. They hall monitor types. So this guy was like, one of those guys was handling the lunch duties that day for whatever reason, taking their money and shit. And so I gave him the card. He looked at it, and the 3 was kind of off. It wasn't perfect, so Manny didn't put it perfectly on there.
Right.
And so, old boy looked at it. He was like, I'm gonna keep this. And I'm like, oh shit.
You knew that shit was going down right before your eyes, dog.
Yeah. And
Dog, this shit sound like Carlito's way, dog, when you should have just, you know what I'm saying, it could have ended all nice, but you had to do that one last trip, dog.
Right.
And you took that trip, and you ain't make it out, dog.
At that point, I should have burned down the Carter. That's what I should have did. I should have got the fuck out of there. I should have ran off with the card, threw the shit away or something. You know, I shouldn't have let him take it.
Yo.
So he took it, and so the principal, I'll use his name, Mr. Curtis, called me down. I'm sitting in the principal's office. Now I'm a good kid, right? Never got in trouble or anything. Never had to go to the principal's office. This is like my first time ever having to go to the principal's office.
First time getting pinched. All right. So you nervous as hell right now. You waiting on that ass whooping when you get home.
I'm shook, right? And he's like, now you know what you're doing is considered fraud. And I'm like, what is, I knew it, I guess. But I'm like, man, I ain't trying to commit fraud.
Right. He was like, I want a free lunch. I wasn't trying to get into all that. I wasn't trying to break the law.
And yeah, so he was like, who, I don't remember if he asked me who did it or if I just volunteered the shit. However, I ended up telling that Manny helped me.
Man, you started singing like a bird in that joint.
I don't know why I did that, but I did.
Did Manny fuck you up over that, dog? Did he fuck you up, dog? Like,
they called Manny down. He was talking, he was telling Manny, like what was going on. And Manny, he was a little bit of a troublemaker too, so he didn't really say shit to Manny for whatever reason. But he was like, he's gonna tell my mother, and then I'm gonna have to do, work on the tables, like clean the tables or something.
Yo, that's a whole nother conversation. Why is it that you get in trouble so much that when you get told on about doing another damn thing, they're like, yeah, we know about you. But you over here, Mr. First Timer, we gonna get your...
Yeah, that's how he did me. But check it. So I think this is how I got my street credit back up. So he was like, how long you did this? You've been doing this. And like I said, we've been doing this shit for like 2 or 3 months. Getting all the damn cookies, right?
Right.
And I was like, we just did it yesterday.
Okay.
So I lied to the cops.
Okay. You lied to the man.
And so that lightened up our sentence.
Oh,
it was
okay.
no big deal.
All right.
It was like it was all good. And so Manny didn't get in trouble. I didn't even have to do the washing the table shit.
Right.
And yeah, that's my experience with the time I snitched.
Man, dude, snitches and thieves, dog. I can't stand either one of them. My problem with snitches, dog, and like in the true sense.
You can't stand me, man. All right.
I can't, dog. Well, I can't stand the fucking, what was that? The middle school you. I can't fuck with the middle school you, bro.
Okay, and I can't fuck with the middle school you either. Man.
Yo, why you mad, dog? I didn't snitch, you did. You mad because your credit score on the decline, dog. Yo, snitches and thieves, dog. And the problem I have with snitching, dog, is like, don't be out there doing shit and get caught up, and now you want to go start telling and shit. And I'm not aiming it at you, but I mean you are kind of, you do get hit with the shrapnel, excuse me. You get hit with a little bit of shrapnel because you kind of did that. But that's my problem with snitching, man. I don't have a problem with telling to keep people safe or keep things safe. But dog, when you in it, don't go around telling. You know what I'm saying? That's whack. But and then thieves, dog, that's my other pet peeve, is that, man, I don't understand why people don't work to get their own. You know what I'm saying? When you a thief, dog, like when you going into somebody's house and you robbing somebody's house,
Okay.
that's so fucking whack, dog. Like people working hard out here to buy what they have, and then you figure, well, I'm just gonna go take it. You know, oh man, look, he got a cool starter jacket. I'm just gonna take his. Oh man, look at those shoes, man. I love them shoes. I can't buy none on my own. I don't want to work for it. I'm gonna go take it. That shit is so fucking whack, dog. I don't like thieves, man. That shit is
I
whack.
think I think that's some bullshit. Yeah, definitely people stealing stuff because I think my biggest problem with it is that they'll steal from somebody else who doesn't have, anything. Like they'll go and break into like their own neighborhood. Like we don't have nothing in this neighborhood. Why the fuck are you stealing my
Yo,
shit?
dog, my stepbrother stole from me, bro. My stepbrother. He was living with us. He was living with us for a little bit, and then for whatever reason he left. I forget. I don't know if he got put out or if he just didn't like what the rules was at the crib or what. But when he left, all I know is I came home from school and all I had left was the fucking uniform I was wearing that day, dog. My Eastlands was gone. Man, my motherfucking
Not your Eastlands.
dog, my Eastlands was gone. My all my clothes was gone. Dog, he even stole my boxers, dog. Like he stole
Dude, I
everything.
remember. I remember you having a stepbrother. I forgot about that until just now.
Dog. Well, there was two of them. One of my stepbrothers was super cool. We were super tight. We had like the same birthday, and we were super cool. And we was around the same age. The other one was the older brother, and he was on some old other shit. I think he was like living a street kind of lifestyle. But he stole from me, dog. And not only that, he took like all my little video games and shit I had, and he took my book of No Limit CDs, dog. And dog, I was collecting every single. So for those who don't know or don't remember, No Limit was dropping an album. No Limit Records, the record label, was dropping an album every single 2 weeks, dog. And the Lick was getting them from Best Buy because everybody else was selling CDs for $15.99. Best Buy, if you buy it the first week, was selling them for $9.99.
Yeah,
And I was there.
$9.99.
I was there every 2 weeks, dog, because I had my little job. I had my own money. Hell, I worked at Best Buy, so I was there, dog. I was getting them. And he took my whole No Limit collection, dog. That shit
That's
hurt
the
like
worst.
a fucking bee
That's the
sting.
worst, man. When somebody steal your CDs, now they can't steal your CDs, I guess. But yeah, people won't know how that feels anymore. Because when you lose all your damn CDs, and like you said, because back then you used to have to like skip school to go get something early and all that kind of thing, and you collected, like you said, all these CDs. You had a whole catalog of this No Limit or whoever you was a fan of.
It must have been like 17 to 20 albums, dog. I was literally getting every one that dropped. Every
I
single
had my
one.
shit. I had my shit stolen twice like that.
Dog,
A
that
whole
shit.
book of CDs.
But why steal, dog? Just go get your own fucking shit, you lazy fuck. I can't stand that. I can't stand
Yeah.
a thief, bro.
I've had like my bike stolen. My son has had 2 bikes stolen. I had 2 bikes stolen. I remember I had my Huffy Vortex stolen. We rode our bike over to Shop and Save, this little grocery store, and we came out the store. Bikes were gone. We went over to the police station, the Ferguson police station, right across the street. And
Okay.
my guy Murray, he called his uncle or his cousin or somebody, and he came and the uncle came over, and he was like, "Man, I bet I know where your bike is. I bet these fools from Kenlock stole your bike." And
Man.
we drove. I'm telling you, dude, it was less than 5 minutes. We pull on this street, and there go the bikes. He knew exactly where to go.
You know what the sad part is? He probably tell him, yo, you go over here, you go get these bikes, dog. He probably set them up and, you know what I'm saying?
And we got our bikes back, man. But actually, see, I'm starting to feel like a bad person. I have experience with stealing as well.
Yo, dog, who the fuck are you,
Look,
dog?
man, middle school was a very troubling time. I was just trying to fit in. There's a lot of peer pressure. I would do whatever I had to do not to get talked about or laughed at. I just wanted to fit in, man. I was under a lot of peer pressure. So
Okay.
So I would
Yeah, by the way, none of that shit justifies being a thief. Fuck that. I don't care, dog.
Okay.
It don't justify. That shit don't justify.
So,
I just want you to know
man,
that shit ain't justifiable.
in
Go
middle
ahead.
school, I felt like I was always like just not wanting to get talked about. I just wanted to fit in, man. So I did what I had to do. And
All right.
so in middle school, I stole basketball cards. I'm about to confess to all these things. Like I probably got like over 1,000 basketball cards in my house right now.
So tell me, is the statute of limitations up, dog? Like, can you go to jail for this shit? Like, what, you even know? Did you even do your lawyer work? Why you over here confessing on the mic, dog?
I would say
You snitching on yourself, dog.
I would say the statute of limitations for stealing
Dog,
basketball
you about
cards.
to snitch on yourself, dog. You don't lose these points on, dog. Don't do it.
I'm not a street dude. I don't need no street credit, man. I'm good.
All right, man. You about to lose some more points, though.
Because with street credit, you can go buy keys and stuff. I don't need none of that.
You don't need no keys.
Nah.
You don't need no keys.
Nah. So
right.
I stole basketball cards. I remember I saw consequently I saw Manny at Walmart once, and he was like, "Hey, I got this slingshot," and I stole a slingshot.
Dog, why it sound like you like from the country or some shit? You stole a slingshot, dog.
I don't know why.
Who
man.
the fuck was using a slingshot?
It
And
was-
I thought they had those locked up, dog. I remember
had 'em
my
out.
little brother's grandmother brought us a slingshot. My mama hated that shit too, but they were locked up. We couldn't have no BB guns, so she bought us a slingshot, and my mom was pissed. But go ahead. So you stole a
I
slingshot.
stole a slingshot. I remember we went to in middle school. I think it was like the choir had some type of Six Flags Day or something.
Right.
Or maybe it was just the end of the year, like in 8th grade or 7th grade or something. And we went to Six
Okay.
Flags. And I remember these chicks got caught stealing. But I also stole like some sunglasses from Six Flags. Just because.
Dog, you just had a fucking streak.
Just to be like, yo, I got these glasses.
Dog, you had a streak, dog. Like, and you didn't think about, is this before or after you got pinched fucking around with Manny?
This was after. Like,
Dog, you still
at
living
Six
that
Flags-
life?
Even at Six Flags, I'm sure Manny was involved too. He was definitely involved.
Dog, were you working for Manny? Like, what the fuck?
Nah, man, Manny was just a cool cat. He used to joke a lot, man. We used to always laugh and everything. He was cool, man. He was a cool guy.
But he was a thief
He
and a cheater.
he was just a little. He came from a bad neighborhood.
Okay, so he was derailed a little bit.
Yeah.
He was derailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had some experience with that.
With being a thief and a snitch?
With being... Yo, actually, so being a thief, I mean, all that stuff I listed, that should get my street credit back up. But I don't need it. One last story.
You just snitched on yourself, but go ahead.
One last story. I
Yeah.
love this one. So this is high school, though. This is like senior year. So I'm over my stealing phase by then. I'm not stealing shit no more. I'm on the straight and narrow.
I wouldn't have fucked with you if you was a motherfucking thief, dog. I'm just saying.
However, I had a friend, let's just call him Larry.
Okay.
So I had a friend, again, we're just gonna call him Larry. Now Larry, we went to Walmart this one time, right? It was like winter time. And he went in and was like, all right, I need some jogging pants.
Dog, how do you? So did he go in the fitting room and put them on?
I'm like, we going to get some jogging pants. I'm like, cool, all right. So
Because you didn't know
over there.
Right, you didn't know he was gonna. You didn't know he was gonna steal.
No, I didn't. I was kind of
Okay.
like, yeah, I didn't know. And so
All right.
we went up there.
How old are y'all?
Hey, we was like seniors, I think.
And is this fool working?
He was definitely working. I was working.
Okay, so he's like, we about to go get some jogging pants. I need you to go take me. And you like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Now I'll save the other stories about him later for another time. But we stayed in some shit, and so so we go into Walmart. We go to the jogging pants.
Okay.
I remember there were these gray jogging pants, and I remember he used to always wear them after that too. But he was looking at him. He found his size, and so he looked up, and he looked one way. He looked the other way.
Looking suspicious as fuck.
And this is winter time, so he had
Dog,
like,
this is the shit out of the movies, dog. What a little creepy kid is looking around, look left, look right, and then just stuff it down his shirt or some shit. Where'd he put it, dog?
So he lifted up his coat and he tied the jogging pants around his waist.
He had time to tie them. Like, so he was slow.
A quick little knot. This was a quick little knot.
But it takes time to lift up your coat and then stretch it around your body and then tie it in a knot. That's at least 3 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds.
That's not a lot of time, man. I mean, you know, because he's behind these clothes, nobody can see anything.
Yeah, Walmart. Well, you said it was Walmart?
It was Walmart.
Walmart's camera game was fucked up if they ain't see that shit.
They had cameras, but their camera game was apparently fucked up. And he said, no. So what? The funny part about it was, he's like, Jerren, I'm sorry. And he looked up and he was like, and he did that shit. I'm like, man, what are you doing?
Yo, he's a thief and a gentleman, dog.
Hey, he's a perfect gentleman, dog. Just like a Gangster and a Gentleman, that album, Styles P.
Yo.
He's a thief and a gentleman, bro. And
so Larry was Styles P.
So he did that shit. And we walked out, and he's like, and we get in the car, and he's like, hey, Jerren, are you mad at me? And I'm like, nah, man, it's cool. And he's like, man, I'm sorry you had to see that. He was a perfect fucking gentleman,
dog. So why did he even drag you in there? Like, why didn't he just have you wait in the car? I'm saying, well, why didn't he just leave you in the car if he didn't want you to see that, dog?
I don't know. He's a dumb kid,
dog.
man.
He was the perfect gentleman. This dude was like, he looked you in your eye and was like, dog, I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. And then got in the car and apologized again, dog.
Hey,
that lets you know that his upbringing he had a good upbringing.
No, he had a good upbringing.
You can tell he had a good upbringing, but his life choices was fucked up, dog.
Hey,
oh man,
he was a savage, man.
Fucking thieves, dog. I hate that shit, dog.
But he was a gentleman, man.
That's fucked up. So now when I go get my jogging suit, my full suit, you know what I'm saying? Now I gotta pay $1 more because fools is out here stealing jogging pants and shit. That's
right.
Man. People don't be thinking about that. It comes full circle. But you know what? While we judging these thieves out here, let's talk about a subject that's kind of taboo. Let's talk about, let's say that I got some ink pens at work, right? The job bought them. They're my job's ink pens. If I take said ink pen and I'm using it at work, that's what it's for. If I put ink pen in my pocket and I go home with that ink pen and I'm using it at home, am I a thief? Am I a thief?
I would say no.
Dog.
Like I know technically, you know, you start talking about code of business and all that. I know they say that is, but nah, I don't feel like.
So if you're all right, fine. That's one ink pen. What if you're taking a box of ink pens? What if you bought those ink pens through the company and you had no intention of using them at work? You took the whole fucking box home because you got homework or some shit, or your kid needed pens for school. Are you a thief?
Yeah, now that's going a bit far. I think I think things have escalated at this point, and yeah, now that's you being disrespectful now. Disrespectful, like by stealing a whole box of ink pens. I know they're just ink pens.
Are those ink pens worth your job, dog? That's what it boils down to, dog.
Hey.
Dog, I remember that same Burger King I told you about. Back then, let me see, when was that? Fuck it, I can't think of it. I was 15, 16. And so what was this, 96? No, that was 14. So 98. This is like 98. And I was working at that Burger King, and it had just opened. They didn't have no cameras in there. They weren't taking inventory at all.
Yep, I know where you about to go with this. So I'm sure I did the same fucking thing.
So first of all, I was making food like a motherfucker, right? When I went to the bus stop the next morning, the shit that they making now, I was making in 98. Like the double meat fucking croissant breakfast sandwiches.
Yep.
Dog, I was putting double bacon, double ham, double cheese. And dog, I was at the bus stop. People be like, "Yo, where'd you get that from?" And I was like, "Yo, I made this at work, dog." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't think that was stealing because it was like, "Yo, I'm making this sandwich and it's for me for the next day. I mean, I'm working here. That's the least you can do is give me a sandwich." But some people took it to a whole nother level. One of my bosses, I don't remember his name, and it's good because I don't want to say his name on the mic. But bro, this man, and we're kind of, I mean, we're impressionable, dog. We're only 16. We're kind of looking up to this guy, dog, because he's leading us. But in perspective, this guy was probably only like 25 or 27
I was
or
gonna say
something.
he's in his mid-20s. This motherfucker
Right.
don't care.
Yo, this dude, man, he took a whole fucking box of Whopper meat, dog. He was telling us that he had this cookout that he was gonna have, or this cookout he was going to, and I mean, the Whopper meat, it comes frozen, and then at Burger King it's a broiler, right? You just throw the patty
you throw
on.
it in there,
It's
right.
just like barbecuing. He took a whole box. I think that's 40 patties. He took a whole box of Whopper meat, dog. And I remember him walking out of the airport with this shit, like with this box like over his shoulder, like it was a fresh box of Whopper meat, dog.
Hey, I remember when I worked there, me and my guy, we would go into like the refrigerator. The refrigerator really wasn't that cold, and we would eat like they had like these strawberry cheesecakes, which were like everything.
You know what? I didn't fuck with none of the sweets. I'm not a sweets person.
Shit.
But
We would eat that. Of course, we would eat while we was cooking stuff and all that. But I never stole like a whole.
dog, a whole fucking
Whopper
case
meat.
of Whopper meat, dog. And the whole time I was there, how long did I work there? I might have worked there. I forget, but I left that motherfucker because they was paying me $5.81, and I left it for a job that was paying me $6.25. So I moved up pretty heavily at my next job.
See, now your manager, he probably was looking at it the same way. Like he's probably getting like $6.81, and so he's probably looking at like, man, this is some bullshit. They got me up here for 18 hours.
Right.
Like, man, they about to pay me. They paying me in this damn Whopper meat.
No, dog. He wasn't angered at all. He just told us that he was bragging about how they gonna have this cookout this weekend. It's gonna be so much fun. And when he clocked out for his shift, he went to the cooler, to the freezer. He picked up a box of Whopper meat. He threw it over his shoulder, dog, and he walked. You know how back in the day you see movies that carry boom boxes, next to their ear. Yeah. It looked like he had a boom box. It was a case of Whopper meat, dog. I will never forget that shit. My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe that he was that fucking bold, bro. That's crazy shit.
I had a little side hustle in college. I worked at Burger King again, and I would make sandwiches.
You're a career employee, yo. You love that motherfucker.
I can go back right now. I know exactly how to make a Whopper. You put the Whopper meat, then you put the 2 pickles, and then you do the ketchup and the onions. And then on the bun, you do the mayonnaise, the lettuce, and the tomatoes.
So they might have changed their style by now. They might have changed their style. You know you got to change shit like every 2 to 3 years just to make it seem like you're making your company better.
No, they did research, and I remember them telling me, like, that's the way you have to make it.
That's the way you have to do it.
Yes.
If you don't do it that way, it's not going to taste the same, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That bullshit. Shut the fuck up. That's that bullshit.
So I would make a whole bunch of sandwiches, and then I would take them back to our dorm, and I would slang sandwiches. Like, we had a guy that worked at Papa John's who used to come through slanging pizzas for $5 before it was fashionable to have $5 pizzas. And then and I was like the Burger King guy, and I would go through slanging Whoppers and chicken sandwiches and shit. Chicken nuggets, and like I was just selling stuff like $1 or $2 or something.
Damn, you was getting it off fast, dog. You was getting it off fast, wasn't you?
Oh, yeah.
You had to let it go. Huh?
Yeah, but I got street credit from that, though.
All right. Well, you was peddling
Because
Whoppers.
I was slinging.
You was peddling Whoppers, for the low.
I had the 3 for $5.
And
2 for $3.
I might have bought one of them Whoppers, bro. I might have bought one of them Whoppers.
Hey, them dudes was hungry in that dorm, man.
Right. That's cool, man. Well, check this out, man. There you have it. Another Corporate Streetz podcast. Man, you could be listening to anyone in the world right now, but you listening to us. So thank you for that. When you having that bad day, let us help you. You know what I'm saying? When you distraught, you go ahead and listen to us. You got something else, Jerren?
Yeah. I got one last thing. And this is, I'm getting serious. So again, I know I put my serious pants on last week. So I'm going to do that again, putting on my serious pants. they don't have a zipper there. I guess so they serious joggers.
Right, you got some joggers on.
So I got some serious jogger pants on. But seriously, so a couple of days ago, Prince passed away, and I just wanted to say something here real quick. Prince, to me, so a lot of people, their heroes as a kid was like, fireman, Superman, G.I. Joes, whatever the hell, that was their hero.
Dog, don't cry on the mic, dog. Or you about to cry? Like I'm
gonna try not to, man.
Dog, I hear this shit in your voice, dog.
I'm gonna try to be strong. I'm gonna try to keep it together, right?
Bro, you don't do it, dog. Don't let no tears fall, dog. You gonna lose some more street cred. But go ahead.
It's okay. So, Prince was my hero.
All right.
And I know a couple of weeks ago in this podcast, I was like, if I met Kanye West, like I'm a Kanye West fan. If I met Kanye, I wouldn't pass out or nothing. But if I met Prince, I probably would. It was like that. And so, a lot of the times when I'm trying to be creative, I'm kind of like a creative guy, I think. I would use like Prince as like an inspiration for things. And
okay.
so for one of the things I did, I wrote this essay for this English composition class. And I wanted to read it. It's kind of funny. It's about my childhood, and I wanted to just read it quickly, just kind of as a shout out to Prince.
Shout out Prince. When doves cry, baby. When doves cry.
So since he can't ever see this.
When Jerren cry.
Right. So hopefully he's looking over little Jerren now, and so let me just go ahead and read this real quick. I called it Purple Pain.
Okay, so, Purple Pain.
Yeah. So
you totally ripped off the Purple Rain. So when did you write this again? Before you start, when did you write it?
This is in college, so this is 2013.
Okay.
This is my second bid at college or whatever.
Okay, I'm about to say 2013. Well, okay.
And this paper got me a community college A+.
Okay.
So
it was a community college English class.
Yes, it gave me a community college A+, which is not equal to a real school A+.
Hey man, don't shit on community colleges, bro. They hard too. And that's a whole nother topic. We'll get into that too. Yeah. Differences between two. But go ahead.
So I know this podcast is going kind of long, y'all, but I gotta do this. So Purple Rain was my favorite movie as a small boy. Almost 30 years later, it's still one of my favorite movies. Back then, I wish I could have lived that life that Prince's character lived in the movie. I wanted a purple Honda motorcycle like he had. I settled for a blue BMX bicycle. I wanted a slick white Fender electric guitar like he had in the movie. I settled for a red plastic guitar from Children's Palace. Children's Palace was a toy store for the young cats that don't remember that. It's like a castle. But anyway, so I wanted to dance across the stage in front of hundreds of screaming fans. I settled for my expressionless G.I. Joes.
Because you can't dance.
It was like, well, yeah. Plus, I ain't had no fans. I ain't had no fans either.
Right.
I even wanted to have long curly hair like Prince had, but my mother wasn't having that. I settled for a box fade. More than any of these things, the one thing I probably wanted most was my very own beautiful Mexican-American Apollonia. I settled for a blonde, freckly-faced 5-year-old Amber. I remember meeting Amber in the fall of 1987. I immediately fell for her. Mainly because as a 5-year-old boy, I didn't have many options. And that's who our kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Mason, sat me next to. One day, just after we had hung up our coats on the coat rack, Amber and I decided to make things official. This is before Facebook official. This is just regular ass official.
Right. No Facebook, no Twitter.
Right.
Okay.
So we want, and we was 5 too. So we
Bios
wanted
got
to.
phones now, but go ahead. They got phones now. They can
Right.
actually make it official on Facebook now.
Right.
Go ahead.
FBO. So I wanted to seal the deal with our first kiss. So just after I hung up my coat, we stood there looking at each other. We both knew this was our opportunity. She looked around the corner to make sure no one was going to interrupt our moment. She confirmed the coast was clear. I took a deep breath and I looked right into her big blue eyes and quickly pecked her on the lips. The kiss was nowhere near as passionate as those between Prince and Apollonia. Amber smelled of mayonnaise, and I'm not sure if it was her dry, cracked lips or the static electricity from putting up our coats, but I felt like there was either a small shock or that she scratched my lips when we kissed. So I went to later. I went to visit my cousins, Mikey and Daw, and they lived in the city. I don't know why the hell I had to say that, but they lived in the city. I wrote on here they were 2 or 3 years older than me, but they're actually older than that. So they were 2 or 3 years older than me. They asked me about school and how I liked it. And Dahl asked if I had a girlfriend yet, and I proudly told her about Amber. Mikey asked me if she was black or white. I told her that she was white. He told me I'd get AIDS if I kept kissing a white girl.
What? What the fuck?
Hey, this is kid logic, man. He knew what AIDS was, and this is what he told me.
Dog, this was in '87. Like AIDS wasn't even popping back then, though.
It was just getting hot, and so
Right before Magic Johnson.
Yeah, and so
Well, HIV.
Right.
He told you to get AIDS though. He didn't tell you to get HIV.
He told me I'd get full blown AIDS for kissing this chick. So, so I can imagine the look of horror I must have had on my face. I dropped the Atari joystick to the floor. I didn't even know what AIDS was, but since Mikey clearly had more experience in these matters, I believed him. And I knew I didn't want to get AIDS, whatever that was. So, after receiving these wise words of wisdom about relationships and sexually transmitted diseases, I decided to end things with Amber. I went to school the next day, ready to let her know that we couldn't continue our relationship. I got to school that chilly autumn morning and walked to the playground. I had rehearsed what I was going to say. Hold on, my bad. I had rehearsed what I was going to say to her a few dozen times on the bus on the way to school. Something seemed different, though, about the playground. It seemed like no one else was there. No one else but Amber and one of our classmates, Brian Payne. Shout out to Brian. There they sat under the monkey bars holding hands. I asked them what was going on, and she said she was Brian's girlfriend now.
Yo!
She then gave him a kiss. I was completely shattered. I felt like I truly felt the pain that my idol Prince went through in Purple Rain. I knew what it sounded like when doves cried. After that school year, Amber didn't return to our school.
She had AIDS. She was going around from kid to
AIDS
kid,
might have
bro.
got her, bro. I don't know. She had the monster, man. I don't know.
Dog, she was her activity. She probably was gonna get the monster living like that, dog, kissing on everybody.
So I'm not sure whatever happened to her. I can't even remember her last name. Eventually, I got over her and fell for about 397 more girls after her, by my last count. I'm not really sure how long our kissing game went on. When I think back to it now, it seemed like it must have been a few months, but in reality, it probably only lasted a few days. And that's it. That's my essay that I wrote for my English comp, Purple Pain, that I got a community college A+.
There you go, and also shout out to Prince in that, man. It sounds like he influenced you a lot, dog.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I definitely will miss him, and I did get to see him in concert once. My dream was to actually meet him But of course that can't happen now. But I am happy that I did at least get to see him in concert. I never got to see like Michael Jackson in concert, so but I'm happy I got to see at least somebody that I looked up to like that.
Right. All right.
So the next time y'all hear me say something like this, it would probably be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't really see it for no other celebrities like that, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was like up there with Prince to me.
Oh, so Arnold Schwarzenegger was with Prince. Yeah. And since Michael Jackson's already gone, we won't talk about him, cause he was up there, right?
Not really. I mean, like I always liked Michael Jackson, but Prince was my hero.
All right. So you good with your tribute to
That's
Prince?
it, man.
We're good.
Thank you for sticking with us. Again, long podcast, but
Yeah, man, this is a tough time, man. This is a tough time for Jerren. One of his idols just passed, man. He's only gonna die once, so
Yep.
so we wanted to give you this time, bro, so you can let it out, cause
Yes,
I don't
sir.
want you having any type of tendencies that might get yourself hurt, man. I don't want you to go that way, man. It's to get it all out, bro. Don't hold it in.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
All right. And there you have it. Another Corporate Streetz podcast. You could be listening to anyone in the world right now, but you listen to us, and we want to thank you for that. And you know what? We're here for you. You know, this is why we're doing it. Let us help you. When you're distraught, engage with the Corporate Streetz podcast. This is the podcast where you take your jeans to get tailored, because you need the proper fit when you're rocking those fresh-ass Flu Gang 12s. Peace.
Peace.